support to the realization of the objectives and priority areas outlined in the 4RF, as well as to ongoing humanitarian efforts. Taken as a whole, these commitments totaled more than US $9 billion. And from what we know so far, these are all additional commitments to what was already given in terms of humanitarian assistance, etc., from both bilateral and multilateral partners. Further announcements for in-kind support were made by a number of delegations also. Now, the conference marked the beginning of what can be called a structured process of support for Pakistan's recovery, aligning humanitarian relief, early recovery with broad long-term sustainable development in a resilient manner. The conference identified the principles, action plan for Pakistan's resilient recovery, rehabilitation and reconstruction. The structured process of support for Pakistan's resilient recovery will be based on the following elements. A, developing and agreeing to detailed plans for specific recovery interventions. Based on the PDNA and following priorities and implementation arrangements outlined in the Resilient Recovery, Rehabilitation and Reconstruction Framework, concrete recovery interventions will be designed and finalized. This will include interventions across the 4 strategic recovery objectives, SRO1, enhance governance and the capacities of the state institutions to restore lives and livelihoods of the affected people, especially the most vulnerable. SRO2, restore livelihoods and economic opportunities. SRO3, ensure social inclusion and participation. SRO4, restore and improve basic services and physical infrastructure in a resilient and sustainable manner. Working from the immediate to long term. The recovery process will range from immediate to long-term recovery needs. As the country transitions into long-term reconstruction, priorities should include financing the most immediate and time-critical components of the 4RF, including urgent social expenditures aimed at preventing health crisis, mitigating the impact of winter, as well as the rains in the next monsoon season, and restoring livelihoods. Long-term resilience framework, C. Beyond the recovery needs identified by the PDNA and 4RF, a long-term resilience framework is needed which will guide building resilience and Pakistan's capacity to withstand future shocks. D. Promoting inclusiveness. The recovery process is rooted in an inclusive whole of Pakistan approach, recognizing the role of national and provincial stakeholders, supporting all segments of the society. E. Developing a financing strategy. A credible and detailed financing plan which includes fostering public-private partnerships will be developed. Project preparation. A facility will be established, or the UNDP-supported project preparation facility already established within Pakistan's Ministry of Finance will be reinforced with a dedicated fund to finance the professional development by qualified consultants of viable projects selected from the 4RF framework for official, private and public-private financing and or investment. Monitoring and evaluation. Effective monitoring and evaluation mechanisms will be put in place to ensure transparency in funding allocation and spending combined with public communications on recovery progress. H. Establishing an international partner support group. An international partner support group to Pakistan's resilient recovery, rehabilitation and reconstruction will be established under the leadership of the government. The group will assist Pakistan develop concrete plans and projects and help secure financial and other commitments of support for the implementation of these plans and projects over the coming years. Other support. Pakistan welcomes any other support from other partners based on their existing international aid, support, frameworks, and other arrangements or protocols. That is the end of the document. And as we come to the end of the day, let me say that I think one thing that Pakistani government and the Pakistani people have to acknowledge and have to be truly thankful for is the leadership that the United Nations Secretary General provided from the word go. He held our hands, he held our file, he took it to the world, and he demonstrated through the commitment and really the whole of the UN approach demonstrated by your presence here today as to how the UN can come together to assist a country which has gone through an unprecedented disaster. So my special thank you on behalf of the people of Pakistan, on behalf of the government of Pakistan, the Prime Minister, the Foreign Minister, and all of us here today, and those who are not here, and the provincial governments on that. Let me also acknowledge over here the presence of provincial high-level delegations, and this also shows that all of Pakistan also has the ability to come together and work for its people to assist them. Today has truly been a day which gives us great hope, not only for the future of the people who've been affected by this crisis today, but for the future of any other set of people in any other land which may be affected in the future. I think the message from the world is clear. The world will stand by those who go through any natural calamities, will not leave them alone. And once again, I thank you on behalf of the people of Pakistan. And with that, we come to the close of a good, important day.
वज़ीर मुमलिकत बराए ख़ारजा अमूर हिना रब्बानी खर माहौलियाती तब्दीलियों के पाकिस्तान पर असरात से मुतालिक जेनीवा कॉन्फ्रेंस के ख़ितामी सेशन से खिताब कर रही थी। अपने खिताब में उन्होंने तमाम आलमी बरादरी और उन तमाम मालियाती इदारों समेत दीगर आलमी इदारों का